recently, everywhere I've looked, everything that I'm seeing is all fear-based. And I don't understand why we keep talking about fear. We talk about fear of failure and how to overcome it, fear of getting sick and how not to be sick, fear of the future. Everywhere, every time we use the word fear, what we're doing is we're giving it power and we're legitimizing it as something which attacks us and something that we have to overcome. I notice everywhere everybody's talking about, oh, how to overcome the fear of this or how to overcome the fear of that. But why don't we try a different approach for a change and banish fear from our vocabulary, from our emotions, from our actions, and from our bodies? Impossible, you say. Can't possibly happen. But you know what? We can do that. And you know why? Because we have conscious choice. I've experienced fear. I was an adopted child, which meant I was left in the hospital for 2 weeks before somebody came along and adopted me. And because of my misinterpretation of the world, I experienced fear of abandonment, fear of rejection, and then of course I've experienced fear of not being good enough, fear of the future, fear of failure, and on and on and on it goes. And we all have those fears, but they're all learned behaviours. And the one way out of it is to choose not to feel it. You see, nobody comes along, opens our head and pours down negative emotions. We choose to feel those things. We choose to feel fear, even if we're doing it unconsciously, based on old habits and patterns and misinterpretations. And of course, what gets us out of this is that we can choose not to feel fear. I know it's a tough one, but we can do it. You know, we are so powerful, we can even fake courage. And that's what I'm talking about today. Just don't choose fear. The whole idea of overcoming fear or setbacks constantly keeps us looking over our shoulder for them, looking for something that's going to creep up or sneak up and attack us when we're not ready. And you see, this is a self-defeating strategy. For whatever we think, whatever we feel, we do, we act, and we embody, is a conduit for the universal law of resonance. And that means that whatever we energize, we will find. If we keep speaking, thinking, doing, acting, and embodying fear, guess what? We'll find it. More importantly, it will find us because it will rush at us from all directions. Why? Because we're acting as the universal law of resonance, and we're magnetizing it. We're calling it to us. It's simple physics. We have to take a different approach. Instead, why don't we talk, think, act, and embody being a success, not fear of failure, being healthy, not fear of being sick, being alive, not fear of dying, and being loved, not fear of being alone. After all, aren't we all human beings? We're not called humans fearing. So I think fear is the worst four-letter word there can be in our vocabulary, and we should all banish it. It's one word we should not use. And instead, we should talk more about faith, having faith in ourselves as a success, having faith in ourselves as being loved, having faith in ourselves that we live wonderful, fulfilling lives. Talk about faith, not fear. And you will be surprised at all the wonderful experiences that will start to come into your life. Try it. Witness it for yourself. Until next time.